Hey, everybody, give me a thumbs up if you like science, because that's what we're going to do today. Welcome to No Man's Sky. I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault here, as always, bringing you fun and interesting content. Well, that's subjective, I guess. But in any case, we're here with a new video today. We're going to take a look at some of the changes that have happened in the game as far as utilizing these different settings in the options menu for like difficulty. So I wanted to take a look at some of these and see, what the difference is on stuff. So we'll go through this list a little bit and play around. I mean, some of them are obvious, like sprinting infinite. We don't really have to research that to see what it is. Let's scan this puppy up right here. But one thing I want to look at, we got a couple rocks here that are all the same. Let's get our decent multi-tool out. Actually, do we have a crap one? Yeah, this one just has a basic mining beam on it, so we use this for scientific purposes, okay? So what we'll look at right now is the natural resources, and we'll go from scarce to standard, to abundant on these and see what we get out of it. So this first one here, 7 ferrite dust. That pretty much sucks. Switching it to standard. Eight ferrite dust. Are you serious? Yeah, we're serious. Okay. Well, all right. Well, let's switch it to abundant and see what that gets us. I want extra ferrite dust, boy. Woohoo! Where are we going here? Oh my God! Why can't I see? Abundant. All right. So making it scarce doesn't hurt it that bad, apparently. And of course, there is some randomization to it. So abundant really made a difference. Look at that, 20 extra. The dihydrogen didn't really benefit much. We got, what, a total of 3, 1 each time. So, yeah. And that's just using a basic little pew-pew here, right? So, cool. All right, well, let's go back in and set that back to the standard thing, and we'll look at standard sprinting versus relaxed, just to see, how that goes. We'll use this as a starting line, and away we go. So this is a standard sprint now. I've got my guy decked out pretty good, and we're going to be running right into the ocean here, or the lake, or whatever it is. It looks like an ocean. So we'll juke left, see how far we get. Dang it. Alright, well, wow, it recharged real quick. Well, anyway, so you can see my guy with his standard sprinting, how far he can go, which is pretty good, man. I mean, look at this. This is, we're definitely not running out of sprint anytime soon here. So I really decked out this guy, this character. I went in and did a lot of manipulation with his technology slots and putting in the best things I could find in there. So there's that. And we'll take a look at him if you want. That might be kind of cool. So that is standard sprinting. Now, relaxed sprinting, I imagine we can just run forever. It's probably almost good as infinite. There's no harsh sprinting or anything like that, so you can't really make it tougher, but at least you can keep it standard or make it infinite if you want. But I mean, we're almost at infinite now on regular, and look at this. We're to the water, and we are barely down to the guy's head. There we go. Now we're hitting his shoulder. And look at that, instant recharge. So, yeah, significant difference there. Definitely a significant difference. Now, I like these customizable features for players. I know a lot of people feel, you know, especially longtime players feel that, oh, man, that sucks. It's just making it easy for everybody. And you know what? If people want it easy, let them play it easy. I really don't care. You know, are they going to get things a lot faster than I did when I started off? Yeah, they are. They'll be able to do things and really advance quicker. But the game's been out for 6 years. Play a little catch up. All the little buffs and things you can do in the world will not make up for a lack of skill if you don't have that. So, you know, there's that. All right, so scanner recharge. Let's take this all the way to challenging and do a quick scanner. So there we go, and look at that. It is taking a long time to recharge. Wow. I feel like that's the way it was when I did my little survival mode video the other day. It just took forever to recharge. This is going to be a 3-hour video. Look at that. We are not even about a third of the way now, roughly. God. All right. Well, let's change that out to standard. Apply the difficulty changing. Our settings. You can see it's going up a lot quicker now. Even that's not that great, but whatever. Finish tearing this down while we're here. This is from our last video where we gave trouble to a rocket that was launching. Trapped it temporarily. But we learned something valuable doing that little experiment, and that is the moment the rocket launches, you get your money. So it doesn't matter what happens to it. All right, are we done? There we go. So yeah, you can see this is advancing a lot faster. I think that other one was advancing at the same rate. Yeah, it didn't change once we changed the difficulty setting. All right, so that's not bad. That's acceptable. Let's go in and give it a fast one. Are you ready? Bingo. Just a couple seconds there, really. Wow. Yeah, a little handful of seconds. And then we'll go to the very fast. This ought to be entertaining. It's probably almost instantaneous. Yeah, wow. Okay. So, yeah, it makes a big difference on the scanning thing. So if you are suffering in the game with something, a deficiency in your character, your play style, or whatever, it's kind of good to know that you can even the field a little bit. You know, you might have, just by changing a couple little things. So that's kind of cool. Now, death consequences, we're not going to do that because we're not going to die, but like, this is some interesting options here. This one can only be done, of course, when you start a new game. It has to be selected when you do a custom game. And that's basically a hardcore mode, or however you want to call it, permadeath. But you can have it to where when you die, you don't lose anything, or your standard one where you just lose your items, but you can go to your grave and get them, and then items destroyed. That is, that's brutal. That's like Ark Survival Evolved level aggravation there. So we looked at sprinting and all that, crafting, free purchases, discounted, standard, and expensive. We'll check that out maybe. And goods availability, inventory stack limits. All right. Yep, let's apply the changes that we made. So put it back to normal. And I think I've got, excuse me. I think I've got a trade terminal in here if I'm not mistaken. What the hell? I always have a trade terminal. Where's my trade terminal? All right, we're going to go up to a ship. We'll be back. Or a space station. All right, so we went to a Viking station, and this is a low conflict, and affluent system. So there's a lot, so this is going to have the highest level of trade goods and so forth available. And let's just take a look at, for instance, let's look at the settings first. Manipulate what we want to look at here. So let's start with, we don't need to look at free, but scarce availability and expensive, and see what we're looking at here. So we go to the trade terminal and got 172 microprocessors at 104,000 apiece. 17 million for all those. That's a lot of money. If we give them standard pricing and standard availability, we'll apply the changes. More things are available, 172. But look at that, they're 27,000 a piece. That's a lot cheaper. Yeah, wow. Not a lot more in the availability range, but hey, a little bit, it's cool. And go back to the difficulty settings. Goods availability will be abundant and purchases will be discounted. And you can see there's always like more stuff available. Still only 172 microprocessors. Maybe because we're in an affluent area, I don't know. But look at that, 10,000 a pop now, right? 1.8 million for all those. So the pricing makes a huge difference. The abundancy really doesn't seem to, except for maybe a variety of items. That's something we didn't check. We've got four different pages there. Let's go ahead and we're just going to do one thing real quick. We'll put our purchases back to standard and our goods, let's put them down to scarce and see if that lowers the number of pages of available goods maybe. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily impact the actual items, that number of items available. It impacts how many items are available. So look at that, a little more than half of what we had available before. Cool. So that can make things challenging. All right, let's go back in here and see what shall we mess with next. Back to standard there. Space combat, inventory transfer range. That is so sweet. Hyperdrive access is cool. And the power is cool. Reputation, standing gain. I mean, we don't need, that's all obvious what that's going to do. It's either unrestricted or it's specialized. It's either infinite or nearby. Base power is either free or standard. And the reputation is just going to give you more or less reputation depending on how you set that up. So not a big deal. I would like to see space combat and on foot combat. So sentinels and alien monstrosities. So we're going to go find some sentinels and get back to you there. I'll fight some sentinels. All right, so I got my sentinel base here. You know what we haven't done? We haven't looked in these livestock units. They don't look like they've got any more space in them. In fact, it looks like less. Automatic feeder. Okay. In any case, we're going to start a fight with some sentinels here. So let's check our settings and let's go hardest. Let's go easiest to hardest on these. So on foot combat affects the sentinels. Explorers may be confronted. It's just a frequency. Oh, that's only the frequency. Okay. So enemy strength is either weak, standard, or challenging. Oh, so this is kind of cool. So you can really, like, if you have to explore on a sentinel planet where they're hostile, you can shut off the encounters or make them even more frequent, you know, or just kind of tone it down a little bit, which is kind of cool. This is the frequency of combat in space, okay. And I guess this applies to pirates as well. So strength applies to your enemies, whether on the ground or in the air, and the on foot, and combat affects, you know, sentinels, pirates, and then you have creatures here. You can make them all passive, you can make them defensive, or you can leave the predators on, which is a standard thing. All right, cool. So did I change that? Oh my god, I don't think I changed it. Sorry guys, so many settings in here, it's crazy. All right, so the enemy strength will start with weak. And let's just get this guy a little bit riled up here. Alright, we'll try to fight the same type of sentinel. Oh, he went down fast. Yeah, big time fast. Alright. So there's one of those little annoying guys. Goodbye, one shot. And here's... Alright. Yeah, so weak. Weak really makes these guys pushovers. Alright, well, we're going to go back to our base here and let these guys reset. And then we'll come back in and try the next level. So we'll be right back. Alright, well, we're back. So let's go into the difficulty settings again, and let's give our enemies the standard strength. This is what we're all used to fighting sentinels with. And you see the big boys back over there. So let's go give him a little nudge. There he is. He's pissed. See, there goes the healer guy. Now it takes 2 shots. Take one of them out. Ow. Don't burn me, bro. Alright, well, he's down. Again, even after the nerfing, not horrible. Let's get a handful of these regular guys to come around here. And just give them a little action that they so desire. Here they come. You first. The armored guy. Alright, well, that's the extent of that. We got one more setting and one more of the access nodes to deal with, and then we'll come back. The more things change, the more they stay the same. We're back here for our final little experiment where we make the combat challenging. Will this result in death? Hard to say. It quite possibly could. Sentinels tend to be tough. So, let's get his attention. So it took 1 shot for a node the first time, 2 the second, and 3 the third. So I might have to get a little more Let's look at this guy. Yep, taking a beating. Yikes, okay. Yeah, it hurts. It burns. I'm going down, buddy. Now we're taking out the big guy. Yeah, he hurts. You're dead. That's right. Alright, cool. So you can see the difference in combat. There is a significant difference between all levels of combat. But even the hard one isn't the end of the world. I wasn't really on top of my game there. You know, just kind of standing there shooting and trading blows with the guy. But definitely a difference, so happy to see that. You got a good weapon in here? And no, we don't. Alright. So, next thing I want to see, pirates. We'll be back. Alright, we're going to go kill some pirates now. Who doesn't like hunting pirates? I know I do. So, let's go back to the options here in the difficulty settings. And we will pop down to... We'll start them off weak again. I know it'll be a route. And let's go get us a pirate. Hello, Bounty Master. Buckengek Lepore. Interesting name. Oh, we'll take the nanites, thank you. Alright, so we're going to hop in this ship here that we just recently became my #1 ship since the update. And it's armed with, of course, your basic infra knife setup. And I've got... I focused my upgrades on... Oh, wow, look at this. Alright, we'll be staying in this system for a minute and making a new video. Alright, so let's go. Let's find that pirate and go kick his butt. And then we'll kick it a couple more times. So yeah, we'll use our infra knife. It's built for fire rate. And everything else is a secondary thing, you know, damage and all that. But it's a pretty solid build. I haven't really done a ton of work on finding the quote-unquote perfect infra knife module yet to min-max it. But this is probably pretty decent, so... Yeah, I feel like on the easy level, that's like pre-nerf. Wow, that's insane. Yeah, that's what the infra knife was like before Waypoint, so cool. As you can see, as soon as you get them into your sights, and your guys get out of the way, we're toast, right? Absolute toast. Alright. Well, let's check out the next difficulty. Alright, we're back in here, and it looks like there's a couple more pirates to kill. Well, let's grab one. Change the difficulty setting. We'll make them standard. Now let's go see what happens. That was a nice little exotic we saw there. Oh, man. Might have to show off this location and all that. Take a look at it in a little more detail. See if it's something I want to add to the collection. Alright, you pirates. We're on our way. Got the infra knife ready to go again. Let's see what this is all about. And your experience might be different. You might have a different weapon, different type of ship, all that stuff. No big deal. As you can see, the Alright, let's move in a little bit. Lock on. Now it does take longer, right? They're not melting instantly. If my guys get out of the way, it'll be a lot easier, but it's still not a big deal on the standard, you know. It's definitely slower. Definitely slower. But even so... with the Infra Knife, the Q Resonator, and three good upgrades, X-Class upgrades. When we hit him, we do damage. Why can't we hit him? There we go. That was weird. Two more, finish him off. I'll tell you, sometimes I think the squadron just does more harm than good. That was the last wave, right? You can see our shield took a little bit of a beating that time, but not that bad. Is that it? Are you done? Okay, cool. Let's head back and try out the hard difficulty. Alright, now it's time for our third and last pirate. The mighty pirate Nagrian. I'm gonna get some nip buds for that one. Alright, so we got them selected. Go into the options once more, one final time. And we're gonna make him challenging. Because yeah, we definitely want to see what combat will be like. So now we might have to recharge our shield at some point. Might have to fight a little, you know, a little more finesse than we have been. We've just been kind of screwing around, staying in place, locking on, and fighting. But hey, we'll see what's up. Let's go get this guy. We'll just pulse right through that rock. And see what kind of damage we can do here. We'll see if it even runs a risk. Play the same fighting style where we just kind of lock on and fly around. Alright, there we go. We're still doing a lot of damage. Alright, first wave we barely took a nick. Of course our guys weren't in the way. Like they are now. Alright, he's down. Come on, man. Get out of the way. Having trouble locking onto him. There we go. He's toast. And the third wave comes. Third wave's over. And we barely took a hit. That was unchallenging. Okay, just making sure. It actually felt like the standard one was a little tougher. Alright, we'll be back. Alright, so through those 3 rounds of combat, both with Sentinels and with Pirates, we had damage levels here, which affects how your exosuit parts and your ship parts, so forth and so on, how much damage they take in combat from falling and other things like that, right? So we've been on the standard setting the whole time, never really messed with it. So yeah, let's see. I haven't really looked. Let's see if we took any damage through anything here. So our starship Everything looks like it's in good order. Nothing was damaged, even though we were in 3 rounds of combat, one of them challenging, and, you know, we did take some hits. Our exosuit doesn't look like anything's been damaged in there either. So, even though stuff can get damaged in combat, it looks like on standard settings, it's definitely not a thing that happens on a regular basis. That's the S-class ship there. Alright, so I really can't see any other settings that need to be explored. I mean, whoops, wrong one. You know, survival elements and all that, that's pretty standard. I mean, you can, you know, you can worry about nothing, you can worry about only health and hazard, and then your full one that it's got a little bit of everything. I guess we could look at hazard protection, all that, but that's just going to be a time thing, you know. So, in any case, thanks for joining me as we looked at some of these difficulty settings and the new custom difficulties for No Man's Sky. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault here, and I thank you for joining me. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and don't forget to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the difficulty settings. Is there something you're going to change? I might end up going with challenging combat from now on, just because even with the nerf, combat still doesn't really present much of a challenge. Yeah, it might make it just a little bit more fun when you get in these situations. Don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it or learned anything, or, you know, just want to help a brother out. And if you share us on social media, that's always appreciated. I will see you guys next time.